Are you prepared for the collapse that's coming? This, I know when you see this link, you're like, whoa, Josh is being negative. Not in the least. You can see I'm in my hotel. I'm going back today. Can't wait to get back to the doggies. Anyway, are you prepared? Now, this is actually an optimistic video. I'm just telling you right now. But there's going to be a collapse. It's coming. And it's actually, I don't think it's going to be a bad thing necessarily. It could be. So I'm walking around in these, I'm in Maine, by the way. And for those of you, who you are, I didn't want to see anybody up here in Maine. I needed to get inspiration to finish up my book on Peaks Island. And I didn't go to Peaks Island, but just being in Maine in the fall, Freiburg Fair, there's just nothing better. It's the best place on earth. The smell, I love it. Anyway, so I came up here. My wife said, yeah, because she's going to Seattle next week. And she's like, sure. I said, do you care if I just come up for 3 days, just get inspiration? And she goes, absolutely. And I'm flying back today. So it just, oh, man, I love it. But anyway, so I'm walking around in various places, and every place you go, help wanted. Every place, on every industry, every place. Now, Maine is, I think, the second, if not the oldest state in the union. I think basically everything in New England is, and then Pennsylvania and West Virginia, I think, are the oldest states in the union. So Maine has a lot of old people and not many young people. And then you add to it all the tourists that come in here as well. It's top heavy with old people, and it's bottom. It's like a reverse pyramid. You got the younger people, few and far between, serving this huge amount of older people, the tourists and just the residents as a whole. And that's an economy that we've never, ever seen in the history of mankind. And it's not just going to be, right now it's in the upper New England, the northern New England states. Yeah, I'm not so sure about Connecticut and Massachusetts, but basically the three, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, a bunch of states in the Northeast are top heavy with older people and not enough young. And that is a sign of a collapse. But it's not necessarily a collapse like you think. It's not like an Argentinian or a Zimbabwean or a Venezuelan collapse. It's a collapse where you just can't get what you thought you could get done. And that means even your money isn't going to matter as much as you think it does. I'm telling you, you can see it a mile away. There's just not a people who are willing to accept your dollars to do what you want. Every place you go in here, it's insane. Like this whole hotel, they can't clean the room. I don't necessarily want them to clean the room anyway. I don't care, but they don't have enough staff. To get coffee, not enough staff. You go by construction firms, not enough laborers. You go by, it's everywhere. Engineering, and I was in a restaurant yesterday eating, and I could hear the table next to me. They were kind of drinking. They do some engineering, architecture and engineering, and you can see that they're like, I was just listening. One guy said, I had to, tell this lady that one of the that she has skill set, but she's just not pulling her weight essentially. And I know she knows what she's doing, but she's not pulling her weight. And but I know I just can't let her go because we need her. And I'm like, I'm telling you, man. So you take what's happening in the Northeast and you extrapolate that, 20 years from now to the rest of the country. And I'm just telling you, watch what happens up here. You think, well, I'll just pay somebody. No. They don't want your money. There's not enough people for which you to pay somebody. And I don't know where that leads. I don't know. I find it's going to be in a collapse like we've never. And anyway, think about it too. You got the World War II generation, which are pretty much all gone now. All right. Now they survived the Depression. They survived the rationing cars of World War II and whatnot. And then they had a bunch of babies, the baby boomers, because they're optimistic about things, the future. They survived the Depression. They survived World War II. They were optimistic. Then the baby boomers came out, and this is not a slight on the baby boomers. Tons of freaking woke, in the right way, baby boomers who've done it the right way, Vietnam vets and whatnot, tons. There's also a hell of a lot who didn't. A lot of college professors who never worked a day in their life and are living on the largesse of generations previous to them, and they're spending it. Those dollars aren't going to get passed down. I mean, some are, I grant you, but a lot of those people are spending money that was built and given to them from previous generations. It's just that simple. And so they didn't have enough kids because they spent it all, man. And this is not an indictment on the entire baby boomer population, but for a fact that that generation right there has consumed more than any generation in the history of mankind. And they didn't want kids, so we had a baby bust. My generation's baby bust. Now, we were raised by baby boomers to think consume, 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 consumption, consumption, consumption. We'll pay a guy, we'll pay a guy, we'll pay a guy. I'm telling you, but now when you look at the millennial generation, which is a big generation, what kind of skill set are they bringing to the table? I was listening to an uneducated economist, Simon. He said that, like, there's a school in some place that's got 90% women, some college. I forgot where he's talking about. I said, these ladies aren't being educated on trades. I don't know what they're being educated on, but it's not trades. And you see in the higher education, it's like 65% now, 60 to 65% are women getting degrees. It's not on trades. It's not on, it's only on I mean, there's going to be some engineers, I grant you. There's going to be some doctors, 100%. But there's going to be a hell of a lot of, just basically paper pushing and their HR people too. I'm telling you, man. So I was up here to talk. My waitress was actually from South Carolina. She was from Beaufort, Georgia, and then she went to South Carolina. And she, I said, "What are you doing up here?" Because she sounds Southern. I hear her every now and again slip into y'all, but other than that, I said, so we just got to talking. And nice lady. She's gay, and her girlfriend was up here. Was from Maine. They met at college, the College of Charleston, whatever it's called, College of Charleston. And her girlfriend is from Maine, so they moved up here. But they're moving back. They're moving back to the South. Her and her girlfriend, I guess, soon to be, I don't know what, wife, whatever. I frankly could care less. Just very nice lady. So good on her, man. She meets someone she loves, all power. But at the end of the day, she wants to. She won't be here anymore. She won't be here to serve me and other tourists that are here, because she's going to go back to South Carolina and do what she wants to do, which isn't to be a server at a restaurant up here in Maine. And there's a waiting line throughout. It's funny. So you had to wait and wait and wait. And I'm sitting there, I'm talking to one lady. I said, look, you guys still got to practice social distancing. He said, well, not even really so much. It's just we don't have the staff. Because you see, I mean, there's like an hour wait, man. And you see all these tables, it's like empty table, and you're thinking, oh, it's because social distancing, stupid. You're still doing that? No, didn't have the staff. Now they're couching it under the idea of social distancing. But she goes, yeah, we just don't have the staff. I said, well, that's got to hurt the bottom line. She goes, she's just a worker. She doesn't know, but I guarantee it's hurting. We know that in what's going on in New York City right now, 40 to 50% sales down. I'm just telling you, man. And so there's going to be a crash coming. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to look like. You can only bring in so many immigrants to do your grunt work until the immigrants say, I'm not going to do that. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I tell you, man, it's the immigrants say, if I'm going to do this grunt work and get treated poorly, I just stay home. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know what it's going to be, but it's coming, man. And I wish I had some guidance here, but I think, so I'm driving around in Maine, you see all these places, help wanted. You know what I'm saying? You're just like, someone's got to fill these roles, but no one's gonna. And it's gonna go back to a more mom and pop kind of, you're gonna have more and more mom and pop operations. Well, let's just put it this way. I was talking to a guy I know, and he's cutting back on his, like, I'm booked for the rest of the year. I'm not taking any more clients for the rest of the year. If you're on the wait list, I'm taking it. Don't get me wrong. But as of right now, I said I'm booked for the rest of the year, because it stresses me out when I can't get to people quickly enough. I'm not going to lie. It's this pending, like, just I feel like I'm letting people down, and I don't like that. So if you're on the wait list and you've emailed me in the last, literally up until right now, I'll get to you. It stresses me out. I don't like pending stuff. Anyway, I was talking to another guy who's a entrepreneur, small business, and he said the same thing because I'm just too busy. I can't take more clients right now. And so you think about it, you got all these like smaller companies. Let's say you're a builder. I guarantee you're busy as far as the eye can see. Let's say you do generators. I had a guy quote me a generator about a year ago. He goes, "Yeah, probably 6 months before it can get to you." He just emailed me the other day, just say, "Hey, I want to follow up with that." And I said, "Well, right now I'm just going to put that on hold." But anyway, he said we're 6 months easily, and I, got a guy putting pools in. We had people in our neighborhood. Well, this isn't my neighborhood, but in my neighborhood, they're waiting 8 to 10 months to get a pool installed. And the problem is, obviously the construction material is going through the roof. Well, I guess not anymore, but still, sourcing the construction material, but sourcing people to actually do the work. This isn't stuff that just AI can do for you. And you got more and more people taking and fewer people giving. So it's coming. I don't know what that means, but let's just say you got an emergency plumbing issue. How long is it going to take to get some guy out here to fix it? I don't know. But I'm telling you, it's coming. So what I'm thinking, I was like, man, you better start learning something. I'm only 51 years old. I got 30 years ahead of me, I think. Now I can do some basic stuff, but I'm no way a mechanic, no way a plumber. And I could probably wire an outlet, but it kind of scares me to think about. You know what I'm saying? Because I like electricity. I know how it works, but kind of wiring it. I've never actually wired an outlet. I know it's actually not that hard. I've watched people do it, but it still kind of scares me a little bit. But what are you going to do if you need all that stuff? It's a crash coming. I don't know what it means. What are you going to do for people? I think about like when I was young up here in Maine, and I'd be picking strawberries. Basically at Maxwell's farm, and they, to serve the community, they'd hire us local kids and pay us like, I don't know, 10 cents a quart. I can't remember what it was, 10 cents a quart or something like that. But they were just there as community service to help us. We probably weren't doing much. I'd pick one, eat one, pick one. But anyway, they bring on these Cambodians who are freaking boom, 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 flying through the pickery. And so the Mr. Maxwell, he's a nice guy, lived in Cape Woods, Maine, generations, and I'm sure he was pleased to hire local kids to do the work. I guarantee there's no local kids doing the work anymore. Guaranteed. I don't know that for sure, but I guarantee he's seeing a complete drop off of local kids. He's bringing on more immigrant labor. But the problem is more and more immigrant labor is being needed, and there's going to be less and less immigrants doing the job because they're like, I don't want to do that. I'm going to do something different where I can get paid more. So what happens? All those strawberries you're used to buying in December, they're being shipped from wherever. I'm telling you, man, it's coming. Just be prepared. I wish I had more to offer. If you guys have any thoughts, I'd love to hear it. All right, we'll see you.